Hi, I'm Kevin Lee. I founded Giving Forward, a 501c3 nonprofit, a few years ago. I wanted to ask you a question. Have you ever considered yourself a venture philanthropist? And philanthropist sounds like a big number. Doesn't have to be. Have you ever considered yourself a donor who would donate based on sort of a venture philanthropy model? And that could be you as an individual, it could be you as a corporation, it could be you as a foundation. The main difference between regular philanthropy or donations and venture philanthropy is that in venture philanthropy, the money is going into the creation of something that generates more than the original amount that was put in. Like a business, right? That's why it's venture philanthropy, like venture capitalism. But instead of the money coming back to you as the investor, as it does with venture capital, it goes forward into the ecosystem. It's sort of like giving forward. So I'd urge you to think about that as one of the places you deploy your uh, your philanthropic capital, your donation capital. So I'd like to run you through where Giving Forward has gone in our mission to create platforms, cause marketing platforms that generate revenue for other nonprofits. That's why we're a potential candidate for venture philanthropy. Prior to starting Giving Forward, I had started We Care, which generated $8.3 million for nonprofits through cause marketing powered shopping and became the inspiration for Amazon Smile, which generated $450 million of nonprofit donations before Amazon shut it down on President's Day 2023. It was doing donations at about a $100 million a year clip at the time that they pulled the plug. Long story as to why and the data behind that. But suffice it to say that consumers and nonprofits both loved Amazon Smile and We Care before that. So I deployed the Giving Forward team to rebuild a platform to replace Amazon Smile and pick the ball up where Amazon dropped it. So our primary platform at Giving Forward is a charity mall, which allows anybody who's using the charity mall to support any of the nonprofits that are on our platform. We've got about 1.23 million in there so far. Not all of them have logos associated with them yet, but here's an example of myself supporting the Thomas Dearland Foundation. Great small nonprofit, very scrappy. All the money that gets donated goes directly to their mission of supporting veterans who've had challenging situations. And so you could change your nonprofit, and most landing pages allow you to change your nonprofit unless it's a landing page for a nonprofit itself. But we could pick the ASPCA, and we could do a search on the ASPCA, and we could change the nonprofit to the ASPCA. And from that point forward, the online shopping that we do from here generates revenue for nonprofits, in this case, the ASPCA. And we got Walmart on board, and we got Staples, and we got Disney, Land's End, and Priceline, and a bunch of other merchants. We've got about a few hundred actually in queue getting ready to launch. And we're getting ready to hit the gas much stronger. But the great thing about having picked up the ball on the cause marketing powered shopping model after the fact is that I was able to layer in additional monetization beyond just shopping, because the reality is that marketers are willing to pay for shopping behavior, but they're also willing to pay for time and attention, as well as do something called co-registration. So the way we work it here is, if I were to register here using single sign-on using Google, or if I were to put in an email address, I'd have the opportunity to register. And if I checked off co-registration options, meaning also share my email address with sponsors, those sponsors will go ahead and give money to Giving Forward, which then can give 70% of that money to the nonprofits selected. So that's really cool. That's already in MVP. We're layering on a bunch of additional cool functionality. And we have something in later stage MVP now, which is this idea of charity coupons. That's another layer that did not exist within Smile that we think is going to be super powerful. So imagine, if you will, coupons that are better than what you can find in Honey or the Rakuten app or the Capital One app or one of the other coupon apps. These coupons are just a little bit better. We source them from the merchants, and then we fulfill them, but only if a donation is made to one of the curated nonprofits that the merchant requested be the beneficiary nonprofits. Once again, 70% of the money goes to the designated nonprofit, and as a nonprofit ourselves, we take 30% to hopefully achieve cash flow neutral. So cause marketing power coupons will work for FBA merchants in Amazon Smile, as well as folks who have their e-commerce presence somewhere else, like a Shopify or Magento. They'll source us the coupon codes. It can either be single-use coupon codes, which is what we recommend if they're going to be used in a donated couponing environment, so they can't be shared on social media or used more than once. So we've also got something that we discovered when we launched an affiliate summit, which is where we do all the deals with the merchants, which is this idea that people really love headshots. So I invented goodpics.org, a platform where we run charity headshots for at events where a sponsor pays for the photographer, and then the headshots are actually free, but they can donate. An individual can donate if they'd like later on. However, we can deploy the platform in other ways. So for the Yale Alumni Nonprofit Alliance, or in the case of, for example, Freewheel, what Freewheel is doing is they're running a Movember fundraiser, and the organizer for that is making it mandatory, $40 minimum, so that you can get your free professional headshot at their offices. So that's mainly for internal folks, but also for external folks who are attending an evening event. So it doesn't have to be free headshots, which is what you would deploy in a trade show environment to get maximum number of leads. It can also be mandatory payment. So that's just sort of something we invented along the way. We also have this passion about cause marketing powered content. This is the idea that whoever creates the content picks a nonprofit cause, and then the content consumer can also register and pick a nonprofit. And then when they register, 25% of the ad revenue goes to their chosen nonprofit and 25% to the creator's choice. So in this case, the creator was Miss Teen America Peyton May, having creating some content with Demi Whites, who co-founded Quarantunes, and the designated nonprofit is the Miss America 501c3 scholarship organization. So that will grow as we build more and more visibility, more and more page views under goodbuzz.org, but I'm also looking to potentially partner with certain publishers. I may personally, actually as a for-profit, acquire some publishers in order to demonstrate just how well this works from a publishing perspective. We also have a philanthropic sweepstakes platform, Sweeps for a Cause, also used for lead generation and co-registration. And in that case, you enter for a chance to win. Winner gets $1,000. Their nonprofit cause gets $1,000. I've done this a few times with higher prize amounts, but we don't feel like the elasticity of response for registration goes up dramatically when you give more as a prize. So we're going to stick with this for the next go round and continue to iterate on the platform. We think we can get a tremendous amount of ad inventory from publishers because publishers have unsold ad inventory. What's really cool about that is the call to action on the banner has a click-through rate more than 10 times higher than a typical public service announcement ad that's just donated in an empty spot that would have been filled by nothing or would have been a house ad at a publisher, because the call to action is very much, if the person clicks, there's a donation that occurs. So turn your click into a donation. You go ahead and click on that. This is a BriefMe specific landing page. So briefme.com would be the publisher in this instance. Person would land here, get a message about how BriefMe is partnered with Giving Forward. And when the person gets the call to action to register, the donation would occur as a result of co-registration. What's really cool about this is that when the registration occurs, if we were to register using my Gmail account, for example, because this is BriefMe's landing page and BriefMe donated the click, we have added just to this particular user registration flow a BriefMe email newsletter co-registration, rewarding BriefMe for sending the click over. So there's an unsold ad, they put our banner up there, and then they get audience development benefit back. That's what they call it in the publishing world. We also have our paid sponsors, as well as the opportunity for the person to enter to Sweeps for a Cause. And then our paid sponsors pay us on a per registration basis. And we'll have additional paid sponsors on the next page, the thank you page. Those aren't live yet because we're just in the process of ramping up. The reason we're looking for donations is so that we can actually ramp up more quickly. I'll get it there by myself, but I would love to get it there more quickly with a little bit of upfront capital. So if you're a philanthropist of any kind, whether it's a small donation, medium, large, corporate, or as a result of a foundation, not only can we take your donation, but in the case of foundation donations, we can actually find a way to craft an initiative to support a specific nonprofit. Because remember, we can create landing pages that those landing pages are specific to supporting a particular nonprofit. In this case, the Brief Me suggested nonprofit is the Thomas Tearlin Foundation. So we could craft either a good PICS deployment to support particular, underprivileged individuals with professional headshots. We could do it at specific galas. We can layer things together to support specific causes. So don't think about the fact that we're just a tech company that builds cause marketing powered platforms. Think about it when you want to chat with us about, well, how can we basically take a small donation of yours and figure out how to amplify that by deploying our technologies to support your favorite causes. And there may in fact be ways we could do that. So we can achieve multiple social impact objectives at the same time. So as it comes time to donate towards the end of the year or any time during the year and you're thinking about tax benefits, consider maybe investing in a nonprofit that is a essentially venture philanthropy, which is what Giving Forward does. And if you can, if we're not the right one for you, maybe you can find some other nonprofits that are also similar in that they provide much more impact per dollar donated than the dollar that gets donated. That's certainly our mission. And so if you donate, you have my promise that I'll try to put your donation to the best possible use, either to the ecosystem at large or if you'd like in a specific direction, whether that be humanitarian or animals or a medical issue or the eco-related causes, the DEI. We can deploy against all of those. Voter registration. We can support any cause with our platform. So looking forward to hearing from you. Kevin at givingforward.org.